What's up, people? It's your boy D-Raww, coming to you with another episode of the Houston Sports Connoisseurs. Today, I got another co-host with me, Trey. Tell him what's up.
What's up, y'all?
So, me and Trey gonna be talking about a bunch of things today. The Houston Rockets, the Houston Texans. We gotta touch on some NBA topics, some NFL, some college as well. It's gonna get real interesting, you know. A new voice, a new topic as usual, and a lot of other things to come. So, first I want to talk about the Houston Rockets. You know, the Rockets right now, we sitting at 12-9. Would you say that the Rockets are where you expected them to be?
I expected probably a little bit more better, but I didn't expect them to be having a better season what they are right now. I thought it'd be more of a, we'll see how things going, see who fill the role, who gonna start, who gonna be leading the team better. I like what I've been seeing. I like the Dylan Brooks thing. I think he played a big factor in what's going on. I know, can't get his name right now. Fred VanVleet been a big factor for us. 8 assists. He been doing his thing. I don't know. I know a couple games ago he shot like 4 for 11 from the field, 4 for 16 from field goal, and I ain't like that. Just taking up shots. But overall, I think the team is pretty good. Do I see us playoffs? Maybe. Don't really see it going that far.
Well, I'm surprised because currently the Rockets are 3-1 against the former NBA champs, the Denver Nuggets.
I didn't know that.
And at this point, I like where we at. I like what Sagoon can do to a former MVP and Jokic.
Special.
I like how VanVleet has really been dishing the ball around. Yeah, sometimes he takes some bad shots, but I can tell you, Jalen Green, he take a lot of bad shots too. And it's some nights that he be hot and some nights he be cold. But VanVleet, man, I would honestly say he is the heartbeat of this team when it comes to the whole function of how this team really move around the floor. When there's no VanVleet, this team seems to struggle sometimes. But also, to be honest, Austin Holiday has been stepping up too this season. Although he get small amounts of minutes, off the bench, sometimes he really come through and have big games, especially from the three-point line. So far, I think the Rockets are headed in the right direction. I also think that they are in play to get to the playoffs eventually, hopefully this season. The one thing I will say, though, is that they got to improve on the road, moving forward, because they only won one game on the road so far this year. But
it's crazy. It
was against the Denver Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, you look at the next 3 or 4 games, and the Rockets are on the road against Memphis, Milwaukee, and Cleveland. And Memphis, I feel like we can get them on the road.
Destroying them right now.
But Milwaukee and Cleveland, what you think about that?
Milwaukee and Cleveland.
You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with Giannis. You got to deal with Damian Lillard.
Oh, Milwaukee and Cleveland. You talking about Giannis, Damian Lillard? They still got Chris Middleton. Cleveland, they too small for them. Way too small.
You think the Rockets too small, or you think Cleveland too small?
Cleveland too small. Cleveland too small.
I don't know, cause Cleveland they got a nice front court.
I ain't saying we got the biggest players, but I feel like our team is somewhat better than theirs.
Well, I would say, with them having Jared Allen in they front court really make a difference. But I really, really like Donovan Mitchell as a player. Like, to me, he's a special player in the NBA. He's definitely going to be special for them in the backcourt. I don't know. I think the Rockets going to have their hands full. Not only because of Donovan Mitchell, but and I forgot, bro, they even got Evan Mobley in the front court too. So I actually think the Rockets are a little undersized when we facing Cleveland because of the length that they have.
Yeah, I don't think we're a great rebounding team at all, and I think that's what Cleveland will have advantage on us with second chance points. And also against Milwaukee too. I know we're a very fast paced team, move the ball around quick, but when it comes to those two teams and the rebounds, that's where we're gonna lack at. Sagoon, he's good, but we need another second big man that's gonna help him out with the rebounds. Somebody who can sub in without him having to always play too many minutes when we need to fill a certain role in for a certain player who's not gonna be able to guard that player on the rebound, and he can take a step back. Just like most games be like when some players don't be matching well with other players, you have to rotate them out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we might lack at as a big man's.
I would definitely agree with you. Like, I don't think we're a really good rebounding team, and I think a lot of that is part of Jabari Smith Jr. Like, I feel like he needs to become a better rebounder, not only because of him being in the 4 position, but because he got the height and the length, you know what I'm saying, to do that. And if he step up in that 4 position, and Sengun could eventually, become a double machine, I think he should. Sengun, bro, should be good at offense and rebounding, and I think that's all the Rockets really need him to do. I think Jabari needs to step up on his defensive side of the ball and also better grab some rebounds, and I think the Rockets will be okay. That way, Sengun can just focus on his technique of getting the ball in the basket.
I feel like Jabari can be a special player for us. Was this year 2 for him? I see a lot of improvement from last year. Like you said, the rebounding and get some size on it is a must. Mm-hmm. I don't want to take away too much game from him with the size, but he got to get bigger. Like the NBA, he ain't no Giannis, and he can just be getting boards like that. Giannis ain't big with muscle wise, but he has the size. He bigger than Wembanyama. We could say that, but yeah, Jabari, he got to step his game up when it comes to that rebounding, get underneath that, and be more physical. Needs to be more physical, but he's young though. But that happens. He still understand the game. Not everybody mind develop quick as everybody else.
Yeah, another good thing about this team now is that we got Amin Thompson back. So I think that kind of balances some things out for our backcourt going into the future because they got him listed as a forward, but Thompson is really a guard. He plays the 1 for the Rockets a lot of times, and he comes in with great length. This dude like 6'7". He could dish the ball. He could drive. He could shoot. You know what I'm saying? For a young rookie.
They list him 6'7" as a 4. That sounds like more of a 3 and a 1 for me than a 4. I don't know why they did that.
They got him listed as a forward, but he's actually a 1 at 6'7". You know what I'm saying? He actually a point guard. But I think us having him back, I think the Rockets will definitely improve over time. But I think Amin Thompson will definitely help the Rockets in the long run. But I would definitely like to have Cam Whitmore get some minutes as well for the Rockets, because what Whitmore do for the Rockets, nobody else does. We talking about a young player that's explosive, and every time he's came into the game for the Rockets, it don't matter if it's 5 minutes. I done seen Cam Whitmore go out there and explode, bro. I'm talking about getting rebounds, getting points, dunking on people, shooting a J. Whitmore is really a special player, and I'm just trying to figure out why he's still down in the G League at this point.
I'm looking at this roster of the Rockets, and we got a lot of young players. And I like them, but in order for us to succeed, I feel like for this year, we need to figure out who we want to keep for the future and who we should trade and find some type of room for other big players to come to the team to make our team more solid than what we are. Because we competing right now, and we did get a couple off-season players like Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks that helped us a lot in a way. But I feel like in order for us to succeed for future, I don't think we need all these young players. Not everybody's going to develop as well as we want them to.
Yeah.
And, I think our biggest one is right now we need to really see where we stand with Jalen Green. If we're going to keep him or we not.
A lot of people talk about Jalen Green and like his productivity and stuff. I feel like Green, like for year 3, a player that's I think Green like 21. I feel like he's pretty productive. He could be more efficient, but I think that's gonna come with him, getting more years under his belt.
If he don't pick it up, he'll be a backup player. He's gonna start being a role player soon in his career. If he don't pick it up and learn and take better shots, learn how to shoot when he's needed. I think his mid range need to improve more than his 3-point. I know he's not a good 3-pointer, but he shoots a lot of more mid ranges. That's where his percentage comes from, mid range and inside. But I think he needs to improve on his shooting. But if he don't step his game, well, it's year 3. Going to year 4, it's gonna probably start looking like a role player when it comes to bigger names coming in for him. Who knows? Like you said, the other rookie, Amir Thompson. It's still early for him, but it's possible that he probably be the starting guard over Jalen Green.
Hey, another player that's really possible getting a starting position is Tari Eason. He was drafted last year. I believe, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Tari Eason got drafted last year, and so far, for him coming off the bench, he's really been explosive, but also he's been efficient from 3 and inside, and he's a better defender than Jalen Green. So if anybody that was calling out for his position, I know Tari played a forward position, but he can actually play the 2 as well, and I think that would be definitely a player that we'll have to be watching out for if Jalen Green was to ever go perfect. You know what I'm saying? They have to find somebody else to fill in. I would say the next 3 games that I was talking about, though, Grizzlies, the Cavaliers, and who else I said? Milwaukee. I feel like those 3 road games, I think we finna come out of there. We probably
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. I think we're gonna win 2 and lose 1.
Milwaukee will lose 2. I know it will.
You think so?
They got way too many experienced players. Nobody's gonna be able to guard Dame like that. Then who the fuck really gonna guard Giannis? Like, come on, like we ain't got the players like that. I love my team, but I know I'm gonna give credit where it's due.
I can see it. I can see Memphis is very winnable. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're missing key players on their squad. And then Milwaukee, like you said, Giannis gonna be a problem. I think we can kind of even out with Van Vliet. I'm not saying that Van Vliet can hold him or anybody can stop him, but I feel like what Van Vliet produces, I feel like he'll give us a shot. But there's nobody that really has an answer for Giannis on the Rockets team at this point. In that Cleveland game, I think it's really just going to be a matchup of who backcourts perform better. And if our front court, considering Sengun, if he can stand out against the 2 players that they might be throwing at him and Mobley and Jared Allen. But I think we got a shot, bro. Like you said, 2-1 out of that road trip. So hopefully we can come back and meet next time and say the same thing. You know, we came out of there victorious, got 2 games on the road, which we haven't seen yet this season.
My last note on that, I really am surprised by the Rockets. Certain games we didn't won on, and where we stand there right now, 10-1 at home, it's pretty fucking good. Compared to that way we got to improve. The only way for us to be a successful team, we got to improve them away games. But that's all I'm saying on that.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you heard about Draymond Green getting suspended again. This time is indefinitely. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Does indefinitely mean for the rest of the season?
It means that it could be for the rest of the season or however long the NBA decide that they want to suspend him. Okay. But also, with his suspension also comes counseling because he got a problem with grabbing balls and hitting people in the balls, apparently in the NBA. Is Draymond Green gay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is wrong with this dude, man?
I don't think he gay. I believe he gonna do whatever it takes to win the game or put himself in a position to where if he gotta take himself out the game, take one of their best players out the game, routing them up, that's what he gonna do. That's the type of player I see him. Now, I don't have a problem, just somewhat. But I don't know, these past couple years with this BS he's been pulling, I feel like he need to be out the league. His time is up. He's old. And he just feel like he can just do anything he want. Like, you making millions and you getting kicked off, getting suspended off the team for what? Like, this is a team sport. It's not a youth sport. And at this point, I really don't feel like he need to be in the league no more.
You know, man, Draymond, I think he done picked on every person he could possibly pick on any NBA team. You know what I'm saying? Hell, he probably pick on Curry behind the camera. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, This dude is just a bully, bro.
I like the Curry because I feel like if Curry's on somebody else's team and Klay Thompson and he's playing them, if it's that bad, he might probably try him. But they all got too much.
The same, like shit. Well, he didn't put one of his former teammates to sleep. You know, this dude, bro, he just out of control. Honestly, like I agree, he probably do need to be out of the NBA. And I don't know to go that far, but he definitely needs a true suspension and a real fine and some counseling. And I think the NBA might actually finally be going in the right direction. And that also makes me think about Ja Morant.
Ja Morant, yeah.
Ja Morant, you know what I'm saying? I think it took him a couple times to be caught up with his little gun shit and the cameras and stuff like that,
He's
too.
been quiet since that suspension.
Well, yeah, he been quiet because he ain't been playing on the NBA court. And he losing money, you know. And like the first time, it was just like, okay. I think that's how you feel. Like, okay, I don't care. You know, y'all gonna suspend me for a couple games. You know, and I think Draymond did the same thing. And every time that Draymond has his little instances, it's always just like a couple games or probably like a little bullshit fine or something like that. But you know, same thing I was saying with Ja Morant is like it took the NBA to really suspend him and make him understand like, nah, bro, this ain't no game. Your image really matters to us, and you know. The NBA and all these people that look up to you. So hopefully this time Draymond takes it serious. But if he do that shit again, honestly, bro, I would kick him. I
don't believe he's gonna take it serious. I don't believe he need no more counseling. This has been going on for the past 3 years. Been going on longer before that, but the past 3 years has been way worse. There's no more counseling. There's no more talking to him. He don't care about fines. He don't care. And as an organization that's for the Warriors, I understand the man helped you won 3 championships. I could be wrong, maybe 4, but like at that point, there's no more loyalty in that. Like you just making us look bad as an organization. You make yourself look bad. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna want to work with you outside of this organization or when you're done. I don't really see it. I wouldn't want to work with him. I wouldn't want to probably speak to the man because the way look what he's doing. He don't show no positive. He don't show no good character off the court.
Yeah, he don't. He don't show good character off the court or on the court.
I've heard one person speak well about him at all off the court. Have you?
Nah.
Exactly.
And then when he on his little podcast, he just make himself seem even worse.
I don't listen to his podcast. I would never.
Man, I don't know. Draymond is a really interesting character. I can be honest and say that. You know, Giannis, he went off of 64 points against the Pacers. And he broke his team record. You know, it's funny that 64 points was actually the record for the Bucks because it's so many famous players that actually played for the Bucks besides Giannis. And to say that he broke it, it really goes to show what kind of strides he's making in his career, going from NBA champion to MVP. Now he's a record holder and something. And yet all this man does is just run down court and dunk the ball all the time.
You know, I'm very surprised Giannis scored 64. Like you said, all he do is dunk. I didn't watch the game. I caught it this morning and I saw it. I'm like, how does man score 64 points? And all the man to do is play inside. Now, if I'm not wrong, if I might look at the highlights probably after the podcast, he probably took a couple mid-ranges. Maybe he hit 1 throughout the whole game. Maybe 2, who knows, but I doubt it. But 64 points, it's impressive for a man who just dunking the ball. But obviously it shows you how well undersized the Pacers is. So,
0 for 3.
Yeah. So, also I had to look up the numbers. I wanted to make sure to understand like what happened in this game, and from saying he had 11 defensive rebounds. It's something you can't control on defensive rebounds, but that means he had 3 offensive rebounds. You let this man get 11 defensive rebounds. That means the Pacers was doing something wrong. Me personally, as a Pacer, if I was playing against the Bucks, I would try to keep Giannis away from the paint as much as I can. So that means I would probably have Miles Turner play from the 3-point line more than anything, keep him out from inside and make Lopez go for the rebounds. And the fact you let this man get 14 total rebounds, 4 steals. How the hell this man get 4 steals? How the hell this man get 4 steals? Like, come on, like
to be honest, bro, the Pacers just lost to Giannis. This dude put up 64 points by himself. He went 20 for 28 from the field. and he was 0 for 3 from the 3-point line.
Free throw 24 to 32. That means he improved on his free throw a lot. That's some Harden numbers right there.
Means that he just kept on running inside, and they just start, they just kept tagging him with fouls and stuff like that. So that also, like you said, you made some good points with Miles Turner. He should have been boxing them out and keeping them outside, shooting the deep range shots.
Because he went 2 for 2 from the 3. Like, that's what I would do. Keep him out the paint. Don't let us beat on the rebound on the boards. What they have for the boards? Let me see.
Overall, as a team, they had 45 rebounds and 43 rebounds versus 43 rebounds. So the Bucks had 43 rebounds.
Okay, so Pacers beat them in the rebounds. I don't know. Some just don't seem right looking at the numbers. The numbers don't look too bad overall towards both teams, but the fact that this man has 64 points, obviously I seen the 24 for 32 from the free throw. Obviously, this man improved his free throw, so now you can't hack this man. He ain't the person you can hack. He's been working on this game. I think it's just bad coaching.
Bad coaching, and also clearly the problem was that the Pacers couldn't keep their hands off the Bucks. 32 fouls, and then they just couldn't box out Giannis ever in the game, because you look at it, points in the paint for the Bucks, bro. It was 70 points in the paint for the Bucks, and Giannis had 64 of those points. So, overall, bro, the Pacers got beat by Giannis. And it's sad to say that a team, 15 players can nobody out of all 15 players box out Giannis.
That's crazy.
Moving on though, let's get to the Houston Texans.
My favorite topic.
New York Jets versus the Houston Texans.
Jesus.
It was a very sad shame for us Texans fans losing to the Jets. I'll be honest, bro. I really thought that the Texans had a chance. I thought we would have won like 17-14 or something. Like at one point it was halftime, and I was like, I think the Texans can come back.
He thought. I didn't.
All of that just died very fast, But looking at this game, I think the Texans learned a lot about themselves. But also, I think in this game, I seen some things, not only about C.J. Stroud, but about the players that wasn't out there on the field. And it says a lot about those players and C.J. Stroud as well. But I'll let you say what you got to say about the game first.
Okay. First off, I'm a big Texans fan. I'm going to say that. And I expect more than what most people probably expect. When it comes to them, I look at how they first come out in the first 2 quarters. Really the first quarter. If I don't see them pushing the ball downfield and playing timid, and I'm looking at the other team being more aggressive than us, I know what we want. I know from a fact to where the game, we probably might lose it off the rip because we're not looking aggressive. My thing was I feel like we should push the ball down the field more. They've been trying to get the run game going, and I feel like we have a better passing offense than we have a rushing offense, and I feel like we should have been focused on more to pass to open up our run game. Offensive line blocked terribly that game. That's when I knew that we lost from since before the first quarter ended. I didn't know that it was going to be a rainy game. I should have checked that up because I expected us to win that game. The fact when I saw it rain, I was like, I don't know. We ain't played in one raining game like that yet, and it's for C.J. Stroud first raining game, and I know I know both teams gonna be dropping the balls, but after losing what's my boy? Tank Dell. After losing him, I was still cool with winning that game. I said we had the role players with Nico Collins and John Metchie. Still looking for my boy to do his thing, I'm still a John Metchie believer. But Nico Collins, I felt like he didn't want to play that game, to be honest. He got in and got that one catch because I seen it before. I seen his stats before the game. I'm like, he just need 9 yards for 1,000. Man, get in and catch one catch for 13 yards. 2-3 plays later. You see Nico Collins under the 10. He didn't came back in. What play did you see that man looked hurt at all? He jumping up for the ball. He jumped up for the ball real high. He looking healthy. He going up there.
To be honest, bro, I actually had missed the first like 3 minutes of the game, so I didn't see Nico catch the ball. But when I had turned to the game, it was like 12 minutes in the first quarter, and then they was already talking about how Nico was out. So I was like, oh damn, damn, we ain't got Nico. So now we got Hutchinson, we got Mechie and Brown and Woods. And honestly, deep inside, bro, inside my heart, bro, I thought that we still had a chance. I was just thinking on how Noah Brown had them big games. I knew how Robert Woods was very, really someone that CJ Stroud could depend on third down conversion. Those kind of things kind of popped into my head, and I also seen some things from Hutchinson throughout the season. Not a lot, but I seen him shine, a time or two.
I don't know about shining.
Man, he shined a time or two. He shined a lot more than John Mechie.
No, I can't tell. Look, Hutchinson only had 2 catches for 15 yards. John Mechie caught 1 for 6 yards. Overall, we had 11 receptions as a team. Yeah, that is terrible. Yeah.
So
worst game of the season.
But look, see, you say they should have pushed the ball downfield, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like from what I seen, CJ Stroud, the things that was going on wasn't CJ fault.
Just literally tell you that
the O line was playing terrible, to be totally honest. But to me, looking at how the run game went, I know a lot of people like, the passing game being more successful, so we should have went out passing, but they passed, and I think they seen that it wasn't working. The receivers weren't catching the ball. 28 attempts, bro. That's plenty of attempts. You know what I'm saying? From a passing perspective to see, and you only got 11 completions. And I looked at C.J. Stroud. I ain't even talking about Davis Mills yet. I just looked at C.J. Stroud. He threw some good balls. Now, he might have threw a ball or two that was probably behind the receiver or whatnot, but I seen a lot of those balls thrown ahead of the receiver, hit the receiver's hands, and they just drop it. Hell, then I seen Davis Mills go out there and throw a ball to Noah Brown in the second half, and that motherfucking ball just hit him right in the face. So I think altogether, like, to me, the team just played horrible. They wasn't ready. They wasn't prepared in no way, shape, or fashion, bro, for this game, especially considering the elements. Now, I knew that it was going to rain, and I knew it was going to be kind of chilly, but that also made me say, the Texans need to get the ball on the ground, get it running. And honestly, you look at the stats, Devin Singletary played pretty good. 13 carries, 65 yards. He averaged 5 yards per carry, and he was the one with the touchdown. So I feel like they should have led into the second half, running the ball. Damian Pierce shouldn't have got no more carries after what he was doing because he just don't know where he going. He just running to traffic every time. But besides that, we really, really did need the receivers to step up in this game.
None of our receivers stepped up. None of them. Our 2 best receivers didn't play this game, really. And our backup receivers did not play well at all. None of them. And it makes you think, what's going on? I believe for a team that doesn't play in terrible weather as good, we play in the dome, we should prepare for things like this during the off season and things like that.
Yeah.
Make the quarterback get the ball wet every game, every practice, something like that. Practice on, controlling that ball. Let the receivers make them feel wet. I ain't saying the field got to be wet, but make their body wet. Make sure they can learn how to catch the ball in traffic they win rainy games. Because this is what we wasn't prepared. Like most of these players that started this year have not played in the weather like that yet. And I don't think we probably have played in the weather like that probably a couple years.
If my memory serves me right, the first game of the season they had played the Ravens, and I believe it was raining a little bit, just a little bit. It wasn't like this game. This game was pouring down, but
that was a sunny game.
It was. I think it was
a sunny game. It was kind of cloudy, but it wasn't raining.
I don't know. I just remember it being a little wet. I don't know. We have to go back and rewind and see. But like you said, though, it's obvious this team is not good in the elements, bro. And I would hate to say this, but if we make it to the playoffs and we don't,
like Buffalo,
and we play, if Buffalo somehow sneak in, and speaking of Buffalo, actually we're gonna say that for later, but any of those teams like the Ravens, they got the top seed, or Kansas City, if we mess around and play one of them teams in the first round or somehow some way possible, bro, and it's elements, you might as well count that as an L.
I want to speak on the seed right now. I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about these next 4 games, and do you see us actually making the playoffs?
You know, to be honest, like you gotta kind of look at the whole situation because like this Tennessee team that we facing next week is not a bad team. Like the record might say one thing, but I just seen this Tennessee team defeat the Dolphins on the road. You know what I'm saying? And Will Levis is not a bad rookie quarterback. He ain't better than C.J. Stroud, but I'll take the bet on this. He's better than Davis Mills. And if we gotta have Davis Mills out there against Will Levis and his squad, which got a solid defensive background, Tennessee always does, and they got two solid running backs and Henry and Tajay Spears. Texans might be in trouble, bro. I'm
gonna save Davis Mills on this one for Will Levis because Davis Mills played with a terrible squad, two different coaches, two different playing styles. Will Levis do have DeAndre Hopkins. He do have a running back that can help him out, definitely on the pass blocking and shit like that, on the play action or something like that. He have talent around him. Davis Mills didn't come in with talent.
That's true.
And he played some good games. He even beat Buffalo last year. Coming in, he had some good games. Uh-huh. Now I just now giving Davis Mills the time with playing with our players. I feel like he'll be a decent quarterback. I don't think he's a starter. I'm gonna get that straight. I don't think he's a starter. I do think he's somewhat like another what's the guy name for the Colts?
Minshew.
I think he's like another Minshew. He just haven't had a chance to probably had the first practice with first team, but it's probably be his year. It's probably be his week. He might be starting this week. I believe he will. He came in twice after C.J. Stroud came down, and I feel like they have him as the second string now. I feel like what they're gonna do is give him a chance in this game against the Titans.
Yeah.
And if he don't improve before the halftime or beginning of the third quarter, I feel like that's when they make the switch and put Keenum in.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'd rather just see Keenum from the jump anyway. I feel like at this point of the season, us trying to make a playoff push and knowing that what we got, right now, I feel like Keenum really gives us the best chance to win in this game. I think he got a lot more awareness as far as being in the backfield, feeling pressure, and getting out when he needs to, making those deep passes when we need.
That's what I'm gonna stop you at right there. Reason why I don't think they will put Keenum in, only because 2 reasons. He's a little older. Well, matter of fact, I can get you through. He's a little older. So you talking about
older actually, but
when you talking about trying to move out the pocket and scramble for some yards, probably not gonna happen as well as we had with CJ. Now CJ Stroud's not a fast quarterback at all, but he can do enough to get what we need. Davis Mills is younger. He can do that, but also Davis Mills has a stronger arm than Case Keenum.
He do got a stronger arm than Case Keenum.
What we want a deep ball thrown. We know Davis Mills can do it. We seen his arm. We
seen it, but it's inaccurate.
That's okay. That's what time in NFL does. He only played 1 year at college and came in with a terrible team and had to do what he had to do. He didn't give us no winning record, but then he showed some big games. And he ain't no person who just coming out of college playing 1 year and third round pick throwing 5 touchdowns and no picks in certain games against big teams before I seen him do. So I give Davis Mills, I give him his flowers a little bit, but I do want to see the receivers make something happen, regardless what quarterbacks is gonna play for next week, this coming weekend. I want to see what the receivers are gonna do if Collins not playing.
Well, I really hope Collins is playing because you got Sean Murphy Bunting. He been pretty shut down. He was shut down against the Dolphins, and that's saying a lot. And then on the other side, you got Eric Garrier. I'm not really too worried about him, and that's the cornerback that the Texans need to cook. Not too sure who the Titans' third or nickelback is, but outside of Sean Murphy Bunting, the Texans need to cook these cornerbacks, bro. Kayvon Wallace, he a solid safety, a money hooker. He's a household name. He's solid as well, but I feel like we got some favorites, going against the Titans as far as our receivers. We just gotta, as a team, step up, bro. Like I do. I want to see John Mechie finally show, everything that we've been asking for. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of Alabama, we knew he had to sit out because of leukemia and things like that. So I'm really hoping that this is finally the game that he really get to show out. But also, even if Nico don't play, the one good thing that I did hear is that Schultz is going to be back.
Just about to say
So
it.
if Schultz is back, I think the offense is going to open up a lot more because Schultz is a target, bro, in the red zone. He's a target on a third down conversion. I think Schultz is really going to play a big factor here. But also, Noah Brown got to step up. I think we're looking forward to seeing Noah really redeem himself in this game because he had a lot of targets against the Jets and he just did not get it done. So overall, like the receiving core need to step up. I feel like the running game did okay. Not sure what we're gonna get our running game against the Titans because, like I said, the Titans do have a good, solid defense from their front seven to their DBs. They're pretty solid. But now, here's the question for you. What is our DBs going to do to their receivers, considering that they do have D-Hop on their team?
I feel like we have great solid. I think to be honest, you might call me biased for this, which everybody maybe consider I am, but I feel like we have the DBs to cover any receiver in this league. The safety, I like Jalen Pitcher and Ward. When they been the back, ain't nobody really beating us deep. It ain't too many teams beat us deep in this league so far, and I feel like with the Titans, what they have, I feel like we can lock the whole passing game out. The only thing that's gonna hurt us, I feel, is Derrick Henry having a good run game that's gonna open up their passing game. That's what's gonna hurt us right there.
It's interesting that you mentioned Derrick Henry. Do you know that this dude has rushed for 200 yards on us 4 of the last 5 games we played them? Like 200 yards or more.
Yeah, we had terrible players, and I don't think to be honest, I don't really think our linebackers are that great to hold down Derrick Henry. They played solid this year, but they played very well against Nixon. They did. And I'm not saying Nixon ain't no Derrick Henry. Nixon is good, but Nixon ain't no Derrick Henry when it comes to size. And I feel like for a guy that big, we don't have the linebackers for it. Definitely the speed and the physicalness for it. And that's why I feel like it's going to hurt us. And I feel like we're going to need everything. I think we need to come with a lot of blitzing. Regardless if it's passing or run, we got to blitz him. Keep Will Levis off his game and keep Derrick Henry from getting in between the tackles. We got to blitz.
I'll tell you this. I'm not sure Will Anderson is going to play. He's been doubtful with an ankle injury, high sprain, ankle injury or whatever. But the one player that has stood out is Jonathan Gennard. And really, to be honest, the whole defensive line. Like, Anderson, the defensive line played okay against the Jets. But Gennard really showed out. He had, 2 sacks. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a 10-sack DN or linebacker, however, they want to position him. But that's the first time we've had somebody get that many sacks since J.J. Watt been on the team. So I think the D-line is going to be the key to beating Will Levis. If we can continuously put pressure on a rookie quarterback like himself, I definitely believe Will Levis will make some mistakes. And you'll see Ward, maybe Stingley or somebody,
I want to double back on what you were saying about the receivers. What I want to see this game is knowing Stroud probably might not most likely play this game. Mm-hmm. Knowing we're going to have either Keenum or Mills in this game. I want the Texans to go all out in this game. I want them to be aggressive. Don't shy away from, we're going to just get the run going. Get these receivers going. Because obviously, if Nico Collins did not play this game, we need to get these young receivers in this game and get them started. Mm-hmm. Because if we don't get them started, then they're not going to probably be warmed up enough to make the big plays they need to make.
Yeah.
As a running back, you always got to be ready. That is a guarantee because the line's gonna make sure that you need to get through the hole. The only thing your job is to do is run through the hole, that correct hole. As a receiver, you got to get him started. I feel like we got to get this receiver started. Be aggressive. I ain't saying go too deep down the field. If Charles playing this, he gonna open that middle of the field for us.
Yeah.
We need to see Mechie, Hudson, and Noah Brown make some plays and let Davis Mills or Keenum throw the ball. I feel like we got 4 games. Only game I say we might lose to, really, if everything goes well, is the Browns. And right now, I feel like we played a great season. Regardless if we make playoffs or not, I'd be satisfied with the team overall. But I'd rather us take a risk and go out on these Titans and make it happen.
Well, this is a game that the Texans really need to go out there and they need to, fly around like their heads on fire.
Yeah, no timidness. Cause they don't Titans. They want to. They not make playoffs. They want us to lose. They gonna go hard on us. So
look,
we need to do the same thing.
I got 2 reasons the Texans need to whoop the Titans. Number 1, they gonna be done in the Houston Oilers uniforms in this game at home, and they finna paint everything like it's love your blue, like they back in Houston. That's the number 1 reason we need to whoop them.
We need to put that red on their ass.
Yeah. Number 2, the Texans need this game for the division because we still tied with Indianapolis, and hopefully Indianapolis drop another game this week against the Steelers. But also, we need this game because if the Texans beat the Titans in this first game, then they got the tiebreaker already. Even if they beat the Titans this game, beat Cleveland, and they lose to the Titans, the Texans are on the tiebreaker because it's always the first game, So Texans definitely need this game. They do need to be aggressive, like you said. I think the DBs need to step up. Stingley, Steven Nelson,
Steven Nelson ain't been done good since. He's playing well. He still played well, but he has not done good since maybe like weeks 5 or 6. He's been okay, but he has not been that man we saw him at the beginning of the year. But it's okay.
That's true. So hopefully, the DBs step up, the pass rush, get to Will Levis, and we get this win because I think the defensive side of the ball is going to be very important considering that we got Davis Mills at the helm. But also that also means, like you said, we need to be aggressive in the beginning of the game so we can put the Titans in a position they didn't expect to be in.
I'm gonna give my score in this one. I also am going for the Texans. Guys, too. I go for the home team. I call the score 21-17.
It's funny you said that because I said the same thing, bro.
21-17.
21-17. I feel like, like I said, if
we don't got the punt, I'm sorry. We don't have the field goal kicker. Dude fucking missed the field goal.
He's supposed to be coming back. Kaimi Fairbairn is actually coming back.
Really?
Amendola is gone.
Okay.
I'm sorry, people.
I did not know that, so I had to say it.
That's an important factor in this game because at least we get Fairbairn back. Another thing is, I just feel like with Mills out there, bro, we're not going to be as successful. But not because of Mills, and this is what I want to say earlier. What Nico Collins and Tank Dell has done for this offense, I think a lot of people overlook that and give all the credit to C.J. Stroud. But in this game, CJ make the team better.
Brown played a few parts in the beginning, but I said Brown played a few parts.
Brown. I'm just talking about that.
I know what you mean.
I'm just talking about the 2 key players.
You're not wrong on that.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
made a big fucking difference in this offense.
I feel like them 2 players really made a difference in this offense, and I think this Jets game goes to show how important Nico and Tank Dell is to this team. And it really sucks that we're not getting Tank back, but we got a chance with Nico, and hopefully Stroud get, back to 100% as soon as possible as well. But it just goes to show that not only is he making his receivers better, at that goes example Noah Brown, but also not only are the young players that we didn't expect to step up the way they have so far this season, Nico and Tank, is making CJ better as well.
I feel like we'll put up between 250 to 275 total offense and give the Titans maybe 170 to 190 total offense.
Man, that's kind of tough, bro. That mean our defense gonna play like lights out. I don't know if they gonna play lights out.
I feel like the defense will play well. I feel like we might get maybe 2 picks.
Yeah.
We disguised that coverage enough going against Will Levis. He ain't had too many starts. I feel like we'll get 2 picks, maybe 2 sacks on them. I feel like 2 receivers going to step up. Who I don't know, I know. I want my boy Mitch to step up because I know he came back from leukemia last year. He hasn't had too many starts, but times he'd have been in, he had made first down catches.
Mm-hmm.
He has the talent. He did come from Alabama, and Alabama always had great receivers. This is his first NFL year. I'm not giving, I said, even though Tank Dell, this is his first year too, but Mechie did come back from leukemia. He has missed a whole year of football. He hadn't played since he played in college. That's almost 2 years of football missed. He's getting back to the groove. I feel like he got to step up this game. He he has to. And I feel like Mechie would get about 50 yards. I give Noah Brown maybe 70. Because of speed. He can break away. And he has some good hands. Rain is different. Rain is a different element.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And I'm seeing Hutchinson maybe about 40 yards. Schultz, 2 touchdowns. I give Mechie his first touchdown this game. 21. That's 21 right there.
So you don't think we're going to get no rushing touchdowns? I think, bro, the running attack is going to play a major part.
I don't think we get a rushing touchdown, but I feel like we will. The rushing would help us get up.
Some of the stats you dropped might be true, but I think the running is going to be important to this team, and Mechie is going to play a major role as well. But the one thing I will say before I close out us talking about this game is it is going to be 48 degrees, partly cloudy, and that means no rain. So good luck to the Texans. Hopefully we come back from Nashville with the dub, and we charge on into the NFL playoff race, as we was mentioning. One thing I want to say about the NFL playoffs is that there's a couple teams that's right ahead with us and even. The Texans sit in the 8th seed right now, so that means they're outside the playoffs but in the hunt. The Colts are tied with us. Colts play the Steelers. That's going to be a big, impactful game on where the Texans are going so far this season. We know that we got the tiebreaker against the Broncos, who is actually in the playoff hunt right now, surprisingly. And then the Bills, when you was talking about the Bills have really turned around their season, especially after firing their offensive coordinator and stuff like that. Now they're kind of right back in the picture. And hopefully we don't have to worry about the Bills taking our spot in the playoffs or some kind of weird thing like that. But with that being said, the one thing that's important about the Bills and the Browns is that if the Texans beat the Browns, I feel like we'll have strength of victories over the Bills, and it'll make us look a little bit better, and it'll help us charge into the playoffs. I don't think that the Texans are going to win out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe that either.
They need 3 of the next 4 games.
Got to. And the 3 games I think we need to win right now. This is my last thing I'm going to say. Our must win is need to be this week. Got to win this game. If we lose to the last game against Titans, I don't think that really matters. But as long as we win this game against the Titans, we have to win again against the Browns. I don't really see it, but we have to win that game. But the main game after the Browns will have to be the Colts. Got to win that. If we beat the Colts, it will put us in. We can jump ahead of them. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. All right, so it's NFL pick'em time, people. It's NFL pick'em time, people. Let's go. We got a couple good games this week. First off, I want to start off with Thursday night. Chargers, Raiders. Who you got?
Oh, yeah, it's Thursday night, too. Already, huh?
Yeah. Raiders favored to win by 3 points.
I'm giving the Chargers.
Chargers?
Chargers have bigger receivers. They have a good defense. Their record don't show that they're doing it. But this is the NFL. Every game is going to be tough. But I feel like they have the better offense and better defense with Raiders. So I'm going Chargers.
Okay. Yeah, like my boy Corey say, the Chargers gonna charge, and I'm gonna ride with the Raiders. Yeah, Saturday, man. I didn't know they had 3 games on Saturday this week, but you got Minnesota and the Bengals. this is a pretty, these two matchups right here, or this matchup right here is very important for both teams. Bengals favored by 3 points. Who you got?
I got Bengals. One thing I can say, you got a solid backup quarterback, anything is possible. And right now, this year, it's the lead for solid backups, because backups are doing their thing this year more than I ever seen. I'm going Bengals.
Okay. Yeah, I'm riding with the Bengals too on that one. Steelers, Colts. Like I said, this is very important, man. Colts favored by 1.5 points. They at home. Granted, that means them being at home. Usually, a team gets like 4 points. I'm gonna ride with the Steelers.
I'm gonna give credit where it's due at. I want the Colts to lose, but I feel like they're gonna beat them. I'm going with the Colts.
All right. Now, this is actually very, very important for the Texans as well. The NFL ain't talk about this, but the Broncos and Lions on a Saturday night. Lions have been electric this season. The Broncos are still fighting for their playoff life, and they turned around their season. In this game, I'm riding with the Lions at home. What about you?
I have not seen the Lions play at all this year.
Wow.
I found out they had a good year maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, which I was very surprised. But Denver, they fight for their life. They changed their season around after last year. I don't believe it was Russ. I really didn't. But I think I'm going with the Broncos. I'm going with the underdogs in this one.
Yeah, people, we know why Trey going with the Denver Broncos.
Y'all why is that?
He used to be a former resident of Colorado. All right, so man, a couple other good games, man. Kansas City and the Patriots, yeah, they ain't too good. I'm gonna ride with the Chiefs in that one. That's easy.
Hold on, I wanna get my input on the Cleveland Brown and Chicago game.
Oh yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I feel like Chicago doing well than anybody expected this year. I'm not saying they had a winning season. They 6-6 in their division, but other than that, I feel like they gonna take the Brown. I feel like they gonna take Cleveland down. I feel like the underdogs. I'm a better. I sports bet. I'm taking Chicago on this one. I see Chicago beating Cleveland by 6 points.
All right, people, y'all heard it from Trey, not from me. I'm riding with Cleveland. Actually, Tampa and Green Bay, the Battle of the Bays, is actually gonna be pretty good. Both teams 6-7. Jordan Love, he's starting to look like that young quarterback that they expected him to be. Tampa, they really been fighting for their life and fighting for that division. I'm riding with Tampa in this one. What about you?
I'm going with Tampa on that one too. I haven't really seen still too much of Jordan Love gameplay this year at all. But I like the way Baker Mayfield's playing. He been criticized since he came in. I'm not saying he's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I'm not even giving him that title nowhere near. But I feel like he didn't play well in a position at the time Brady retired. I feel like Buccaneers won that game.
Okay. Another very, very solid game. Midday Sunday. Dallas Cowboys versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills at home favored by 2 points. Can you believe that they favored against the Cowboys, a team that's been putting up, big margins on people as far as offensive touchdowns, and the Bills are favored. You think the Cowboys gonna win or the Bills?
I'm gonna be biased on this one, and I don't care. I will give credit where it's due at. Dallas has played great. I hate that they are playing great, but they didn't showed up and proved a lot of us wrong on a lot of things. We thought they were just they don't know. But Dallas always have messed up in the playoffs. I ain't gonna they always been these past 2-3 years. They've
been first round exits.
Yeah, exactly. So but for now, just to answer the question, I'm going Bills in this one. I feel like Bills gonna upset Dallas, knowing what their offensive power is. And I ain't saying Dallas has a great offense as well, but Buffalo also has a great defense. I feel like it's gonna be a defensive game. I see Bills win this game by 10 points.
Wow, 10 points.
10 points.
I think it's going to be closer than that, but I'm going to ride with Dallas. Baltimore and Jacksonville. This is a big AFC top seed heavy hitter. You know what I'm saying? Because both of these teams really fighting for that number one seed still. in this game, man, I really don't know who to take. Lamar Jackson, he been playing his butt off this season, looking like a MVP. Trevor Lawrence, he been playing some pretty good football as well. And the Jags offense has been, putting up points easily from what I've been seeing against other teams, except the Texans, But
I'm about to say the same thing.
But their defense been pretty good as well. But let's not forget about what the Ravens got on defense either. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Jacksonville at home though, but the Ravens favorite. Who you think gonna pull it off?
Again, Ravens. Lamar Jackson is too much of a weapon. He can make things happen with his feet and his arm. He became a better pocket quarterback passer, and also what's his name? The receiver came from the Giants, won Super Bowl with LA. Can't get his name right now.
Odell.
Odell Beckham. He's playing pretty well, pretty decent for an older man. He's made a lot of big plays for them. I'm taking Baltimore with Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I haven't watched too many of their games other than they play the Texans, and from what I've seen, knowing who we have as a team and how our team is, they struggled against us in both games. We beat them one time, beat them bad, and the second time they barely beat us. So, knowing what the offensive power Baltimore has, I'm going with Baltimore.
It's funny that you talk about a team struggling. Both of these teams actually struggled against the Texans. The Ravens actually struggled against the Texans.
They struggled in the first two quarters, but third and fourth, they found it and they beat our ass.
That's true.
It was a lot of improvement in that game for us.
The Texans, the Texans was trying to identify who they were at the time too. But I'm gonna ride with Baltimore in this one as well. I think it's just gonna be battle of the quarterbacks who can outperform the other, and I'm gonna ride with Lamar Jackson if we're talking about that. So I'm gonna ride with the Ravens. But the Monday night game, Philly and the Seahawks go against each other, and the Seahawks, they're really hungry for another win. But Philly, they just lost to the Cowboys.
I can't believe they lost to the Cowboys. I'm very surprised on that one when I saw that shit.
So, Philly on the road, they favored against the Seahawks. Who you taking in now?
Philly.
Philly? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ride with Philly too.
I feel like Seattle's missing something. I feel like what's his name has not been stepping up as he should have been. DK Metcalf. He has about 800 some yards receiving this year. It's pretty good. He probably end the season with 1,000, but I feel like he's not doing what he needs to. I feel like something's missing in the offense. I don't know if they need a switch of coaching or offensive coordinator, but something's missing in their offense. They can be a better team than what they are at 6 or 7.
I mean, I think they can have a more electrifying quarterback at this point, But to be honest, like their quarterback play hasn't been bad from neither quarterbacks. But I think what they're missing is on defense, bro. I don't really think it's the offense. I feel like Kenneth Walker is a solid running back. I feel like they got a good receiving core. And another thing I've noticed about Seattle is that they really have had a hard time protecting their quarterback. So that could be another, thing that could be, hurting their team. But with that being said, that's all for more reasons why Philly's going to beat them, this week. So that's a wrap on the NFL talk, the Texan talk. Now let's step over into some college football. And the one specific thing I want to talk about, people, is actually the SEC. The SEC, Southeastern Conference of Football in college, has released their new schedule. And with this schedule, they, basically give us an idea of what these two new teams that they've added into the SEC is going to possibly be looking like and who they're going to be playing. And the two teams I'm talking about is Oklahoma and Texas, for those that don't know. I'll be honest, man. SEC, every year, everybody always hype up the SEC about this being the number one conference in college football. But I just don't see how. Because besides a couple of the good teams they got in this conference, these teams never play nobody. Like, look at Alabama. The first week they play Western Kentucky. They're going to beat them. That's an easy defeat. Then they play South Florida. Easy. Then finally they play somebody solid and Wisconsin. They get a bye week, and then they play Georgia. And then they go Vanderbilt. Vandy is just a whooping boy of the conference. They're going to defeat them easily. South Carolina, same thing. Tennessee is going to be competitive for the first half, and then they're going to suffer from defeat. Missouri, competitive for the first half, suffer from defeat. LSU might be good, but then you follow that up with Mercer, and then you play Oklahoma and Auburn. Those two last games is going to be tough. But to me, I'll be honest, this is probably one of the best schedules I've seen Alabama put out in a while. But let me talk about this UT schedule. They start off against Colorado State at home, and then they finally play somebody big in Michigan right away. Then they'll play UTSA. They own UTSA, literally own UTSA, so that's an automatic win. They're gonna play UL Monroe, and that's a win. Mississippi State, win. Oklahoma, okay. We know they're going to play them in the Red River rivalry. Georgia is a good one. Vandy, Florida ain't been good in a while. They can't never stay consistent. Arkansas, everybody stumps on them nowadays. Kentucky, they just, no, they actually kept their coach. They'll be competitive, but they probably ain't going to be UT. And then they follow it up with A&M. Now, that's some good things in there. But I know, Trey, you probably got something to say on this, but honestly, I was looking forward to seeing UT and Alabama play against each other in the conference, and I was looking for a UT Georgia game. But honestly, to me, this schedule is light, bro.
It's my first time looking at this schedule, and looking at it, this whole schedule is weak for all teams. Only team I think who really has a challenge right now in this whole lineup. Matter of fact, I'm going to give it two. Oklahoma and Missouri. I think they have the hardest schedule of all SEC teams right now. Because, looking at the schedule, Missouri, Oklahoma has the hardest schedule. Alabama, their schedule look terrible. They look weak as hell. Only team they probably, only 14 they really playing against that's crucial is South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, and Auburn. That's only tough games they probably might have. Maybe only lose one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the Texas schedule, I feel like Texas, first time being in the SEC, they don't want them to look too bad. I feel like just want to give them an easy schedule right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who else just came in? You said Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
And
I'll be honest. I would say this: Oklahoma schedule is not bad, but it definitely should be better. Because you take Temple,
they get them first three games to win games.
Temple, they take them on. Then Houston, I love U of H, but I love the pickers, but I just don't know the state of our program, bringing in a new coach and things like that. Right now, players transferring in and out, so my predictions on that game kind of changed. So we'll see on that. Tulane is a solid football team right now, but we just got their coach, so we don't know what the new coach gonna do in Summerall. But to be honest, Tulane game might be actually a good matchup for Oklahoma out of the first 3 games. Then they got Tennessee and Auburn. So entering that conference play should be a little tough. Texas at the Cotton Bowl, and then it's gonna get easy against South Carolina. Ole Miss may be challenging depending on how many of those players stayed at Ole Miss from this previous team. And Maine, you playing Maine,
I just looked at it again. Another team who actually has a tough ass schedule, Kentucky. They playing Southern Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, Ole Miss, Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, Texas. That is a pretty tough schedule for Kentucky. And to be honest, I know a lot of teams just switch different conferences and everything. But to be honest, I don't believe Kentucky should be in the SEC. They should have got them out.
Wow, out of all teams you pick, you pick Kentucky not to be in the SEC. No, I'm gonna tell you what teams should be in the SEC.
Football wise, they should not be in the SEC. Not at all, because.
But they've been stepping up, bro.
Yeah, they have played better this year. For the first time in years, I've never seen Kentucky play as good as they have. But I thought that they should have been left the SEC. I believe another team could have had that. I believe Florida State should have left ACC and went to SEC.
Well, there's been a lot of talks about Florida State possibly leaving the ACC and the ACC kind of becoming diminished, possibly in the next couple years. That could be another conference that, like, really just poofs go away. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's really going to just be about the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC. Because there's no more Pac-12 at the end of this football season, basketball season. That the Pac-12 is gone. It's really going to be two teams left. And I don't know why they still sticking together. What the hell they think they're going to gain. And those two teams is Oregon State and Washington State. But everybody else is either going to the Big 10 or the Big 12. So, and it's possible, like I said, ACC could eventually go away as well. And those teams are going to be divided probably amongst the SEC, possibly the Big 10, but I'm not really sure because they just added 4 teams. But in the Big 12 for sure. That's the SEC football schedule. I know we ain't got an actual picture in front of you guys yet, but we getting there with that. But I'm gonna leave a link to this schedule so y'all can see it as well, people. Moving on from college football, let's do a little college bowl pick'em. It's bowl season. Everybody's favorite team. Hopefully, everybody's favorite team is in the bowl. I know mine isn't. But looking at this upcoming Saturday, we got Georgia Southern playing against Ohio, and Georgia Southern is favored Georgia Southern is favored on the road as the road team against Ohio in this game. And to be honest, I'm gonna ride with Ohio. I haven't seen much of Georgia Southern, but I know Ohio has been pretty consistent this year. Trey, what you think?
I'm going Georgia Southern.
Okay. Jacksonville State Gamecocks and the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, they face off against each other in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Toilet Bowl. These two teams face off against each other, and Jacksonville State is favored. I'm gonna ride with them because I've seen them. They've been pretty solid. I like what they can do with their offense, and their defense has seemed to be a little bit locked down when I seen them on TV a couple times.
I'm going Raging Cajuns.
Miami, Ohio Redhawks, Appalachian State Mountaineers face off against each other in the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. And App State has always been consistent. I've seen them for the past 3 or 4 years, ever since they've been on the FBS level. They've been good, and I really like them against Miami, Ohio.
I'm going Miami. I ain't gonna lie. One quick one. I don't like that name, Avocado from Mexico Cure Bowl. Sounds so racist.
In the next game, we got New Mexico State Aggies and Fresno State Bulldogs, and they're going against each other in the New Mexico Bowl. And to be honest, bro, I'm gonna ride with New Mexico State in this one. I've seen them go up against some solid teams this year. They had beat somebody pretty good too early in the season. But 10-4 so far this year, I'm really liking it.
I'm going to Mexico too. I think that game will probably be the best bowl game you'll probably see.
Yeah, you might be right, especially on this Saturday. And then we got UCLA Bruins and Boise State Broncos. They're fighting against each other in the Starco Brands LA Trash Bowl, and it's gonna be UCLA prevailing to me.
I was just going on UCLA too. Boise State, they're decent, but they ain't really had too many solid players to me over the years.
Yeah.
I'm going UCLA.
And last but not least, California Golden Bears and Texas Tech Red Raiders in the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Up in Shreveport, these two teams face off against each other at 500, and I like Texas Tech Red Raiders in this one.
You know how I feel about Texas Tech. They the upsetters. They be upsetting everybody today. I call them upset team. I'm going Texas Tech.
All right, for sure. All right, so moving on from college football, we're gonna touch a little bit on this Ohatani new $700 million deal that he got for 10 years, and he get the option to opt out. Now, I never heard this. This dude has the option to opt out if the team's owner, Mark Walter, leave the team, or if the president of baseball ops, Andrew Friedman, leaves. He gets the upside of his $700 million contract if any of those two dudes make a move. Not only that, he also will receive $2 million per year until 2034, and between 2043, he would then receive the rest of the money deferred. So that big chunk of money is going to come to him later in his career because that's the way they set it up, so they can go get more players and keep money on the books. Also, I would like to mention that they will have the biggest big three in baseball probably ever, and not only by talent, stature, but also by money, because all these dudes is getting paid about $500 million. So you got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Ohtani making the lineup. But just to go back to Ohtani, what do you think about that, bro? $700 million, like, to one player?
It's a lot of money, and they gave this man money to where he can almost own his own franchise by the time he ended up leaving baseball. And I don't understand why this man got paid so much money. Like, I think it's kind of outrageous for somebody to get paid that much money.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not saying baseball not a risky sport, but where is the risk in the sport to where somebody get paid that much money to where they need that much money if they not risking their body like NFL players. I feel like NFL players and basketball players should get paid that. But you know what? I'm gonna say something that nobody probably might not like what I'm gonna say because it's a white sport. I'm not saying because black people play the sport too, but basketball and football is more known as a black sport now, and that's when they get underpaid. I feel like a lot of football players and basketball players still get underpaid compared to these baseball players.
You might have a point there. I think another thing that really plays a major role in baseball is that it's more of an international sport. Not to say that basketball isn't, but it's an international sport that has already had players pave the way over time from different cultures and colors and things like that, and players get paid fairly with no cap space in baseball.
And go back on this man's contract. This man is getting paid more than LeBron in his first 10 years.
Oh, not only that, he getting $700 million right now, or not right now, but over time from the Dodgers. But not to mention the money he made with the Angels. But he also gets a whole bunch of money in endorsements because he's Japanese, and
I ain't know he was Japanese.
They don't even talk about how much money he making from the Japanese people and stuff like that because they love this dude. And look, the crazy thing is Ohtani doesn't even know how to speak English. So imagine if he knew how to speak English, how much money he can make in endorsements in America. Now, the one thing that is special about Ohtani is that he is a all-star pitcher, but he's also an all-star batter. And he plays both sides. So when he's not pitching, he's batting. But now, just the crazy thing is, Ohtani had tore something in his arm, like a Tommy John or something.
I was just thinking about an injury.
And he's not even going to be able to pitch this year. So he's only gonna bat. And they paid him $700-some million just to be a designated hitter. So he's not playing no position in the defensive field or anything. He's just gonna bat for the team.
And just the fact that he had a torn ligament or whatever, and he can't pitch the ball, and you batting the ball, doesn't mean you're going to bat the ball all the games. You probably might sit out half because they're going to want to save him for the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. So, he basically just going to be sitting on money. I'm not saying he's not going to be still trying to win, be competitive, but he really just sitting on money at this point.
Yeah, he going to sit on a lot of money, bro. I mean, this dude going to be sitting on so much money that, like you said, he going to have more money than a lot of sports franchises. But not only that, we talking about one player that's going to be more valuable than some of these, major league franchises altogether.
I got a question for you. After hearing about his contract and then, hearing about Patrick Mahomes' contract not too long ago, getting that $500 million supposedly. They obviously reconstructed the contract a little bit, but they still making more money than most of the football players in this league. Do you see in the next 5 years or so Can anybody beat that 700 million?
Yeah, most definitely. If it ain't on the baseball level, it's gonna be in soccer, like overseas, like Europe. They usually get paid. I mean, they usually get paid a lot of money over there. I don't think nobody touched 700 million. But if it's not baseball or soccer, I don't see it no time soon. But it's coming, bro. I would say like in the next 5 to 10 years, bro, somebody gonna have $1 billion contract.
Like, what the fuck?
And it's just ridiculous. The last thing I want to talk about with Ohtani is that he got a 10-year deal, and he's 29 years old. So he's already been in baseball for years already. It ain't like he a spring chicken. He's actually starting to get up in age. And to me, I want to leave off with this. If Ohtani doesn't become successful in helping the Dodgers finally win a world championship with all these players on the roster in the next 3 years, this deal right here for 710 years is a failed transaction on the Dodgers end.
I feel like a lot of these owners don't know. When I'm talking about owners in baseball, football, etc., I feel like a lot of these owners just throwing money at players. They don't know. They don't really look into the future or what's down the line, or really looking deep in depth on what the player really got going on, like towards like injury wise and what they can bring to the team. I feel like just throwing money, and I feel like making headlines is a better thing than anything. And most times, some of these players are getting these big contracts, but at the same time, they were getting their deals reconstructed. They find out all of a sudden, oh well, no, we don't think he's probably really worth the money we gave him, and it's like now this player kind of is gonna be hard for them to find a team, because now y'all get these big contracts, and now they got down. These other teams have to force paying these players because that's what the contract says.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of these owners don't know what they're doing, and most of them are white, and they don't know what they're doing. Well, get a black man in there, they ain't throwing that much money to nobody like that. We're gonna make you prove, make you understand. You gonna break for this money.
Well, we got to get some more black owners in the business.
Really do. I would love to see it.
It's crazy that we're talking about the Dodgers, but just now they just actually made a trade for a star pitcher. So there again, there goes the Dodgers again, loading up, trying to make that run to get a World Series championship under their belt. And I guess people, them getting Tyler Glass now, he's been pretty good for the Rays. I'm surprised the Rays would even, possibly give up a pitcher like that. And it goes to show that I guess the Rays is finna start, rebuilding or whatever the case may be. But people, look out for the Dodgers. Let's see if they're gonna be dodging or they're gonna be winning.
Go Astros.
Go Texas.